It's not going to be good. Well, video's going to be good, but it's not going to be good news about Starfield. Let's put it that way. Let's get to watching it. Slopfield. Classic.
Alright, we're going to try playing Starfield to celebrate the new update. Here are my settings and specs on screen if you want to know all of that. The game starts off and we get this NPC inspecting us, which just launches right into that Bethesda uncanniness. We learn we're a miner for some reason, so they just have you walk around, collect a few ore, and then you find a special rock. You dig the rock out with the laser beam thing, you pick it up, and Bethesda plays this animation. And they really want you to care about this animation.
Right? They really want you to care. Classic.
After you wake up, you're jump scared by the DLSS 5 scene. Gave me flashbacks to that shit. And then you make your character. A couple of the presets I thought were funny is this guy kind of looks like the Fortnite guy in 30 years. And of course they got the live service haircut. But stupid I went with this preset. You pick your background here, and this is just so weird. Why did you start me as a miner? If you're gonna let me pick things like Beast Hunter and Bounty Hunter, Diplomat...
Yeah, like whatever your job was at first, you just suck at it, so now you're mining. Oh, it pays good money to go mine in Australia. Okay, bro.
Explorer, professor, so many different things that why did you force me into being a miner? Why do I have to find a way to include that into my backstory? Is that the only way?
And also none of that stuff matters because once you get into the game, you start leveling up, you just like totally erase it by adding skills in other categories. And it's just like 3 skills. It's not really that much of a difference. It's not going to give you that much of a head start in those categories. It's kind of lame. He's right.
You could think of to making me touch your rock? Why not just spawn me in space as a space traveler and I get to pick everything from there? Now this is already dumb, but it gets way worse. For background, I picked gangster because obviously. And then after reading every single trait, like I really gave it a shot, guys. I picked wanted and extrovert. And this is the most Carl-looking motherfucker I've ever seen, so his name is Carl. So after that, my boss says that the client is on his way to pick up the artifact. So Barrett shows up, and apparently he's being chased by people, so then they show up.
Dude, Barrett talks way too slow. Like, I know it's a video game, and I know there's just not too many smart people out there. Like, they can't keep up with the audio language. Like, I don't know. Still.
We kill all of them, and Barrett says...
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions? You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of this now.
So yeah, I'm just...
You see what I mean? Am I wrong? I don't know.
Super important now. And of course, my boss is instantly convinced.
Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.
And if I decline, saying, nope, not my job.
Yeah.
Don't you get it? You don't have a job here anymore.
Straight up. She just like says, you're done, bruh. I just started.
Like it or not, isn't that just Bethesda saying the quiet part out loud? Like it or not, you will do what we say you will do in your RPG game. They also try to make you feel all important by calling you an explorer now. So Barrett gives me his ship, his robot, and his...
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if it was like, I don't know, different dialogue options, led to different ways of playing the game, different branches of the story, different ways... I don't know, man. They kind of force feed you this same repetitive main story over and over and over and over again.
Watch.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find
just redirect you
out there.
Go, ha ha ha, you're so funny.
All because I touched this stupid rock and he's assuming I had all of these visions. Because I've tried very hard to tell these people that nothing happened.
Yeah,
but they are absolutely convinced that something happened. If I ask why he's giving me his ship, he says it's not even his, it's just on a loan. He says he's making an exception so I can tell Constellation about the vision I had, despite the fact that I've made it abundantly clear to them I had no vision. And if I ask why they're sending me and shouldn't he go instead since, you know, he showed up to get the fucking thing, Bethesda literally breaks the fourth wall and says this.
Come on. You're really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you?
Bro, how do you know anything about a light and music show? I'm the one that experienced it and have told you nothing. It's because he's not really an NPC. He's just someone trying to guide me into the direction of the main story. So he knows everything. You know,
So
it really
dumb.
reminds me of Emil's famous saying.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Why didn't you just give me the starting point of this ship, the robot, and the watch? Let me make my own backstory, don't give me this minor shit, and guide me into the direction of finding your stupid rock. So we get into space where I kill some space pirates.
You know, there is a way that, like, you could just drop you in a ship. Like, you just had some crazy dream or something. And then, like, based on the way you, like, fly around, if you're, like, a really good pilot, it picks, like, piloting skills. If you interact with the dialogue a certain way and, like, you're able to persuade people, it gives you those skills in speech. And, like, if you just, like, automatically start crafting stuff, like, it gives you those skills. I don't know. Like, it could just watch you for the first 30 minutes and then...
To fast travel to Crete. Went through this whole animation
Long way
that's
since
trying to
Marwin.
disguise
What
the
up,
loading
Penguin?
screen.
How you doing? Glad to have the one in the chat.
And then I got to Crete, and it was right back to the menu to fast travel to Crete. Into another loading screen, and then into an unskippable animation for landing.
Yeah, these constant landing sequences. Good lord. They're just hiding a loading screen through it, but it's gotta be cut out.
Man, doesn't it just add so much every single time? I eventually found this singular building on this
Why not
planet.
make you land
I'm
it
sure
yourself?
Bethesda thinks this is interesting or something, like the singular building phenomenon they have going on here. But I can't
know.
adequately explain how terrible this feels. Especially going from something like over 130 hours on Crimson Desert recently.
Like, there's hundreds of planets that have this, like, one little building on them. You know? Like, and then there's 3 or 4 that have cities. I was like, are you sure that there wouldn't be, like, at least, like, 4 buildings on a couple of planets? Why is it always one solo building? When you go out there to build your own output post, you know how much shit there is on the landscape? There's tons of stuff going on. Why don't you see anybody else building outposts? There should be NPC outposts everywhere, too. We're not the only ones trying to extract minerals from random planets and moons.
Playing Starfield is actually exhausting. It's so boring. It is so lame at every corner. And guys, I really tried to play it. I went around looting, doing all the things you're supposed to do in a Bethesda game, and it just will not click for me.
Dude,
I
it's too
eventually
much
found
looting.
this big
And
bad
then,
guy
like,
on the
it stops you right when you're in a rhythm to do this stupid little lock mechanism thing. Come on now. And then half the time you're not even able to do it because you're not high enough in the security skill or whatever. It's like, well, just let me try. You know? What happened to the, like, old school lock mechanism? You know? Come up with a little mini game like that. None of this stupid spinning around BS.
Basically instantly
Come on,
killed him
Todd
on
Howard.
accident with an exploding barrel, finished off the rest, and made it back to my ship. Where again, it's a loading screen to enter, animation to sit down, a
Whoa.
long animation
Gotta
to
pull
sit
the
down,
damn
mind
thing
you.
in.
You're back to the
Take
menu to
off.
jump to the next.
Oh, yeah.
Join Planet Fitness for 1 cent down, $15.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
No commitment. Deal extended to
It's
April
ridiculous,
16th.
I know. Yeah, I need to start paying for ad skipping, right?
I don't know. And when you arrive, it's back into the menus again to land on the planet, back into the loading screen, and then the unskippable landing animation. And then once you land, another loading screen to get out of the
takes
ship.
forever,
At this
dude.
point, it brought me to New Atlantis. This is supposed to be the big Starfield city,
What are
I
you
guess,
doing
or
there,
something.
girl?
One of them, I guess. One place Starfield does not
Dude,
disappoint
I
are
can't
all of
tell.
the soulless
Ambiguous
NPCs.
one.
It is so much weirder in this game than it was in any previous Bethesda game, I feel. I probably spent a good half hour staring at these guys. I noticed this
Right.
one spawn a suitcase out of nowhere.
Whoa.
And then when they walked by me, my god, it's
Oh
like
my
a
God,
horror
that's
game.
scary.
But yeah, like I said, I tried playing the game like a Bethesda game. I went off, I found this lock to pick, which by the way, I actually like the lock picking minigame in this.
Really?
It might be the one fun thing about Starfield. I found a package for Nissa. I guess Nissa is her name. This unlocked a quest where I essentially had to bring her the package. And after tons of unnecessary dialogue, I get to give her the package. And she gave me this drink. Has some minor buffs for 5 minutes. And yeah, I guess I just don't know what I really expected to get. Most rewards in a Bethesda game feel
I think you get the
absolutely
recipe for it too,
useless.
right?
When I finally hit map, I was kind of surprised to realize that they had unlocked everything on the map for me. Like, I just knew where everything was.
That is kind of immersion breaking. Also, if you really look at it, like when you first fly in, it looks huge, right? You got this super tall building in the middle, yada yada, you got all these side buildings, but they're all closed off. Like, and there's not really that much going on. It's mostly just a big park and a bunch of sidewalks that you don't really need. You know, yeah, if you're living in like Singapore, this is the kind of stuff they have. But like, dude, I'm in a video game. Like, I don't know, immerse me. Like, just wait until Grand Theft Auto comes out. It's gonna be insane how big that city is, how interactable that city is. Just like, oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. Cyberpunk, it's packed full of stuff. This is ridiculous. This is a tiny little town in comparison.
All of a sudden, just kind of takes away that need to really explore the place. Like in Crimson Desert, when I come to a new area, I can usually see the question marks on my map, but I have to actually go, talk to them and see what they do. Just encourages me to actually go there and do it. This is probably extremely subjective, but I'm just yapping here. Eventually, I found a train because somehow Bethesda can't fit this entire city into one fucking cell. Has to be split up, so we have to go through an unskippable animation plus a loading screen on the train. This is where I definitely spent a lot of that half-hour NPC watching. It is just so weird how they look at you and man, I can't explain it. I found a carbon copy of that other guy from before, which I get. I mean, you're only gonna.
There's better crowd AI in 15-year-old games. Swear.
I have so many options for NPCs, but we could do a little better, I think, here. I mean, you did take 8 years after all. They do this classic thing where they walk up to the train and then just vanish, and sometimes teleport weirdly and then vanish.
That's so weird.
I noticed
Cutting
this
corners.
one walk in and then basically
BS,
an identical twin walked out. Stood next to this group for a while, and nobody ever said a single word. It was completely silent, just so weird. They would stare at me as they walked to the train, but only me. They would never look at someone else. But eventually I make it to the lodge where I meet Sarah Morgan. She asks why it's me and not Barrett, and I'm just a complete dick and say it doesn't matter. She barely reacts, but then her friend chimes in.
Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit.
And yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly what happened. This is completely ignored and looked past, and they just asked me to put the artifact with the other artifacts. Really proud of Bethesda for finally having some set pieces. Yeah, and then Sarah is just my best friend all of a sudden.
Ready to get to work? See if
No facial expressions either. Look how stiff that is.
She just instantly volunteers herself to come with me. We go and talk to this other guy in a group conversation where Starfield does this insanely bad switching
they smile,
thing.
they look
like
fake.
They had this in Fallout 4, but it was way better. And then it's back to the ship, back to the menus, and back to the loading screens. So I fast travel to my ship with the loading screen, get in the menus, fast travel to the fucking spot I'm supposed to go to. Upon arriving there, it tells me I can use the free lanes cruise thing. So I do that and just instantly start running into Mars, weirdly going around the planet because there's like an invisible wall keeping me from actually touching it, because this is a space game, remember? I eventually find this space station satellite looking thing, and after figuring out how to dock myself to it, I get this animation, which leads nicely into a loading screen. Inside, I find myself in a zero-G environment. It was kind of cool for like a minute, but this just doesn't do it for me. Eventually, I do find a quest here and realize that I'm fighting level 28 characters. I'm level 4, by the way. And so they instantly kill me, but then I thought that might actually be fun, trying to work my way through a higher level area as a level 4. I go back and kill her.
It just frustrates you because you got to keep on loading everything over and over.
Eventually, within the space station, I found like the garbage bay, and when I went inside the compactor, it actually turned on and locked me inside. I had to like quickly find these power cell things and then throw them in and push a button, and it stopped the wall from crushing me. But that was, and I kid you not, the only time in the 4.4 hours I have on Starfield that I experienced any sort of urgency. But after I cleared the quest out of that space station, I figured I wanted to just start the Terran Armada DLC, despite being definitely underleveled for it. That seems like it'll be the only real fun I get out of Starfield, is trying to...
You guys notice too, the trash didn't seem very trashy? I don't know. It's just some very basic boxes and static bags. Like, they could have added different physics, like where you knocked into a box and a bunch of like moldy stuff came flying out, and you got hit in the face with something that made, I don't know, like covered your mask and you had to wipe it off. I don't know. Like, the trash is non-reactive. It's a small point, but come on now.
Do something challenging. And so I had to fast travel to each of these red dots on this line individually in order to fast travel to the next one. So I went through all of these fast travel nodes, got to the DLC, and I got a
Super
ways
annoying.
into the DLC so far. I don't know how long it is, obviously, but in there somewhere is where I stopped so far. So I think I'll end the video here. If you want to see a part 2 of this, maybe leave a like and we'll see how well the video does. And if the reception of this video is good enough, I mean, I'll definitely keep playing the game, and we'll just keep making fun of it. But yeah, my review for now is that
They
if you
just
want to buy a
snagged our
mug, their
money
link
and ran
below.
again.
Thank you to all the doodles on the board that have signed up. Starfield sucks, will always suck, and there is nothing Bethesda could ever possibly do to change that. And have a good day.
But we can always do push-ups.
Oh, go check that video out. I reacted to that. That was good. Drawn out, yeah. Good one. Go give him a subscribe, a like. I love his videos. It's very, I don't know, dry and to the point, and I find his humor very welcoming. He's right, though. Starfield, just not it. It's not it. But peace out, guys. Oh, until then.